Libra. This is your reading for January 21st. The energy today is asking you to look closer. 5 of Pentacles. Right away, I'm seeing tension here. 5 of Pentacles hits hard on financial struggle and feeling left out in the cold. Maybe you've been avoiding bank statements. Maybe you didn't ask for help when bills piled up. The 5 of Pentacles doesn't sugarcoat it. There's hardship and scarcity pressing down, and it shows in actions, not just feelings. Though this isn't about doom. The 5 of Pentacles points to isolation, yes, but it's also a call. The call to stop withdrawing. Don't ignore those financial issues or pretend they'll fix themselves. You can't keep brushing aside calls from creditors or hiding your head when money talks come up. That only deepens the cold feeling. I'm seeing you balancing 2 things here: security and emotional fulfillment. That tension is real. You want to feel safe, stable, but maybe the cost feels like losing your emotional ground. When money feels scarce, your emotional life can freeze over too. You might feel neglected or outside the circle where support lives. But hold on, neglect isn't a permanent sentence. Actually, no, let me rephrase that. It's a spotlight on what you're missing because of how you're coping. Maybe you're not reaching out to loved ones because you feel unworthy. Maybe you think asking for help is a weakness. That's the trap. You need to stop telling yourself that story. Seek support. Reassess your financial priorities. Look around for resources you've overlooked. Don't let pride push you into isolation. You might have avoided those bank statements, but it's time to face them. You might have held back from asking for help, but now you have to reach out. You're not alone, even if it feels like that right now. That light means help is there. You just have to step toward it. Don't let the feeling of scarcity convince you the struggle is permanent. It's not. Remember that tension between security and emotional fulfillment? But it also carries the seed of change. You can't hold on to both sides if one is frozen. It's time to warm up the situation by taking concrete steps. That means opening envelopes, making calls, maybe saying the hard words to people who care. But this card says you don't have to. The cold will thaw when you stop isolating and start reconnecting. Reach out. Ask for advice. Let someone in on your financial reality. You'll find that support is already there, waiting. It's about breaking patterns that keep you stuck in hardship. It's about refusing to let scarcity define your story. You're standing at the edge of that freeze, but there's a way back to warmth and security. It starts with small, specific actions. Picking up the phone, opening the mail, saying what you need. Keep that tension in mind. It's the space where you can move. Stop feeling unworthy of help. Stop letting scarcity isolate you emotionally. Step into the light behind that window, Libra. It's there. You just have to walk toward it. 5 of Swords just stepped in, loud and clear. Conflict is flashing red here. I'm seeing you locked in battles that drain you more than they satisfy. The 5 of Swords highlights disputes where winning feels empty, like a hollow trophy. You might walk away right, but at what cost? Relationships fray. Peace shatters. 5 of Swords is screaming, choose your battles wisely. You knew this already. But there's that stubborn part. Holding grudges, arguing just to be right, sacrificing harmony for ego's sake, that tension you're carrying? It's not strength. It's a warning sign. The 5 of Swords warns against mistaking conflict for power. Look, I get it. You want to assert yourself. You want to prove your point. But at what price? The 5 of Swords asks you to pause. Reflect on the motives behind the clash. Are you fighting because you need to be heard, or because your ego won't let go? That's the line you have to draw. Wait, hold on. Actually, no. Don't jump into arguments that don't serve you. It's tempting to engage when someone pushes your buttons, but this energy says, step back. When you choose peace over petty disputes, you keep your power intact. You protect your circle. You hold on to your dignity. Remember earlier? That tension between what you feel and what you need? This card picks up where that left off. It's not just about money or isolation anymore. Now it's about what you're willing to fight for and what you're willing to lose in the process. Because the 5 of Swords shows how easy it is to alienate allies when ego runs the show. You might be thinking, but I'm right here. Yeah, I hear you. But the 5 of Swords points out a trap. Winning at all costs doesn't feel like winning. It leaves this bitter aftertaste. You feel victorious, sure, but inside? That peace is gone. You might be standing alone. That's the real loss. Five of Swords pushes you to ask, is this argument worth sacrificing your peace? Is it worth risking support from people who matter? Because once the dust settles, you might find yourself isolated. The Five of Swords shows the fallout of ego clashes, tension, regret, and a hollow victory that doesn't heal. Here's what to do. Step back. Choose resolution over conflict. If someone's trying to pull you into a fight, hold your ground without engaging in the noise. Reflect on what you truly want. Protect your energy. The Five of Swords wants you to see that sometimes walking away is the strongest move you can make. Don't ignore the consequences either. Five of Swords reminds you that every fight leaves a mark. It's easy to get caught up in proving yourself, but the ripples last longer than the moment. Hold grudges and you're only chaining yourself. Let go and you free up space for real growth. I'm seeing you wrestling with this right now, the need to assert and the cost that comes with it. The Five of Swords shines a harsh light on that tension. It asks for honesty. Are you building bridges or burning them down? Because the choice is yours. So, no more petty battles, no more ego trips disguised as strength. Five of Swords is about clarity, about picking your fights with intention, about knowing when to stand firm and when to step back. You've got the power to choose how you show up. Hold on to that. Remember it. The Five of Swords is not just warning, it's guiding. Guard your peace, protect your circle, win, but not at the expense of what matters most. 10 of Cups popped up. This card screams emotional fulfillment and harmony in relationships. This isn't news, but pay attention now. Amidst all the external noise and internal friction, the 10 of Cups is a call to reconnect with what truly matters. Family, close friends, the people who ground you. That's your anchor here. I'm seeing you caught in the struggle between standing your ground and keeping peace. The 10 of Cups says, don't lose sight of joy. Don't let conflict blind you to the love that's still there. It's easy to take those closest for granted when stress piles on. You may have been snappier or withdrawn or just too busy to check in. That needs to change. Nurture those ties. Call someone. Say thank you. Show up, even if it feels hard. Don't idealize. The 10 of Cups isn't about pretending everything's perfect. Watch out for ignoring issues under the surface just to keep peace. That's a trap. You want genuine harmony, not a fake facade. So express what's real. Share your feelings openly. Yes, it might rattle the boat, but it's necessary. Avoiding emotional needs only festers tension. You might be craving a family gathering or just a quiet night with loved ones. That's the behavioral anchor here. Celebrate small moments. A shared meal, a heartfelt conversation, laughing over a story. Those moments rebuild your emotional foundation. This card encourages you to invest time and attention there, even if you feel drained. It's an energy boost you can't fake. I'm seeing some resistance though. Maybe you think you must solve all conflicts alone. No. The 10 of Cups reminds you help and support exist in your circle. Let others in. Don't isolate. This isn't just about romantic love either. It's siblings, friends, chosen family. Those bonds are your peacekeepers. Remember the tension from before? Financial stress, ego battles. They're real. But they don't get to erase the joy waiting for you when you choose connection over conflict. This card asks, what are you willing to fight for? If it's peace and love, then protect those relationships fiercely. That means setting boundaries around arguments that drain you. Choose to walk away when the fight isn't worth it. I'm seeing gratitude as a powerful tool right now. Express it daily. Tell people what they mean. Don't wait for a perfect moment or a crisis. Gratitude softens hearts and opens doors. It breaks patterns of isolation and builds new pathways toward healing. Don't neglect your own emotional needs either. The 10 of Cups insists you nurture yourself as part of this process. Self-care isn't selfish here, it's survival. When you're emotionally full, you give better, love better. So rest, recharge, and honor your feelings as much as you do others. You might be tempted to push through discomfort, to bury feelings under busyness or distraction. Actually, no. Lean into those feelings, sit with them, talk them out. That's the only way peace lasts. Closing this loop, the Ten of Cups is your reminder. Joy, contentment, and harmony aren't just dreams. They're real and within reach. But they require action. Not grand gestures, but consistent care. Celebrate love, express it, protect it. Don't let the noise drown out your heart's true calling. You're navigating conflict turbulence, but the Ten of Cups directs you to the calm center. Find it, hold it, live it. Queen of Pentacles. This card is all about grounding yourself in practical care and creating real stability. I'm seeing a moment where clarity hits hard. It's time to manage what you have wisely, not just for survival, but to nurture abundance. You knew the tension was there, between what you want to give and what you can realistically handle. The Queen of Pentacles says, hold on, don't overextend. It's tempting to pour everything into others, cooking meals, keeping the home cozy, making sure everyone else feels safe. But here's the catch. If you burn out, nobody wins. Look at your resources, not just money, but time, energy, attention. That means no wild spending or hoarding either. Don't let fear of scarcity make you clutch too tightly. Instead, use what you have with intention. Maybe that means cooking one nourishing meal instead of 3 rushed ones. Maybe it means saying no to a favor that drains you. You're creating a sanctuary. Is it really cozy if you're exhausted? I want to rephrase that. This card isn't about cutting off generosity. Far from it. It's about smart generosity. Giving from a full cup, not an empty one. When you manage your resources with care, your support becomes a lifeline, not a burden. You're the one who can see the whole picture. Stability today builds comfort tomorrow. Remember those earlier tensions between fighting to be right and keeping peace? Instead of battles or superficial harmony, put energy into nurturing what lasts. Practical support, honest communication, creating a space where everyone can breathe. That's your new game. But don't ignore the warning signs. If you find yourself saying yes too often, losing sleep, skipping meals, or feeling resentful, stop. This card is firm about boundaries. Nurture yourself as fiercely as you nurture others. If you don't, you'll lose the very stability you crave. So what's the action? Start small. Cook a meal that feeds your soul and your body. Organize your bills or budget with clear eyes. Set a limit on favors this week. Notice how these choices ripple out. You're building more than a home here. You're crafting a foundation for future abundance. And yes, that clarity you're getting, it's a turning point. Changes you've been avoiding suddenly make sense. Maybe it's shifting your schedule, asking for help, or saying no to something that drains you. Take control now. You can't nurture others if you're running on empty. When you do, the whole picture shifts. Stability, resourcefulness, and real abundance become your new normal. 5 of Wands, reversed. Here's the thing. You're not dodging conflict out there as much as you're bottling it up inside. The 5 of Wands, reversed, is screaming internal struggle. The kind that makes your chest tight but your mouth shut. You got tension simmering under the surface, but instead of speaking up, you're shoving it down. That's a trap. I'm seeing you avoiding the fights that matter, not because you're weak, but because you're scared of what might break if you speak your truth. But here's the catch. Silencing yourself isn't peace. It's pressure building like a storm waiting to blow. Maybe you've been swallowing harsh words or burying frustrations to keep the peace. Well, that peace is brittle. Bottling up those feelings doesn't erase the conflict. It just turns it inward, making you restless, irritable, or even exhausted in ways you can't explain. The 5 of Wands, reversed, asks you to stop avoiding those tough talks. Yes, they're uncomfortable. Yes, you might ruffle some feathers, but that's how you clear the air. How you stop fighting a battle inside your own head. Look, this card pushes you to express what you've been holding back, not with anger or blame, but with honesty and calm. You gotta say no to suppression. That means naming your feelings, setting boundaries, or simply telling someone what's been bothering you. When you do, you'll be surprised how much tension drops away. Here's a behavioral anchor. If you find yourself retreating, changing the subject, or telling yourself, it's fine, when it's not, that's the warning flag. Don't ignore it. That pattern only lets resentment fester. Instead, take a small step. Maybe it's jotting down what you want to say or practicing a conversation in your head. Then, take it from there. Avoid the pitfall of thinking peace means silence at any cost. Real peace comes from resolution, from facing what's hard and working through it. Hold on. I want you to see this as a turning point. Remember the earlier tension, the push and pull between holding back and speaking out? This is where clarity hits. You realize that avoiding conflict only delays necessary change. That clarity is your cue. It's time to stop internalizing stress and start expressing it. You don't have to fix everything at once. It's about small acts of courage. Calling out what's unfair, saying when you're overwhelmed, asking for space or help. That's how you break patterns of silence that have held you hostage. So no more stuffing feelings down like they don't matter. To address it rather than hide it. You deserve that kind of honesty with yourself. Don't mistake avoidance for peace. You're stepping into a new chapter where your voice matters, where you can hold tension without letting it control you. That's real growth. This was obvious to you. Now it's time to live it. All right, Libra, we're closing this chapter. I see the tension you've been wrestling with. Money stress, conflict, emotional needs, self-care, and that bottled up anger. Now, it all points to one thing: resolution. You're ready to embrace harmony and practical solutions. Let's put it all together. The Lovers is the last card here. This card is screaming choices and alignment. It's clear as day, but now's the moment to pick the path that aligns with your values. You can't keep ignoring misalignments in your life or relationships. When you embrace partnership, not just with others, but with your own truth, you unlock real harmony. This is about making decisions that bring peace, not more confusion. The Ace of Swords is the breakthrough you've been waiting for. It's that sharp moment when confusion cuts away and you see the truth clearly. I'm seeing you speaking your truth, finally. Maybe you've been that moment you wanted to look away. You've been fearing those talks. Cut through the fog. Say what you need to say. This clarity sets you free. That card's about avoiding conflict and suppressing anger. You can't grow if you keep internalizing stress. Here's the thing. Avoiding the fight doesn't mean peace. It means unfinished business. So speak up, express yourself, seek resolution. That's how you clear the tension inside and around you. Looking back, the Queen of Pentacles showed up to remind you about balance between nurturing others and caring for yourself. The Queen of Pentacles demands practical support and wise resource management. Don't overextend. Don't neglect your needs while trying to hold everything together. Create that cozy space for yourself. Cook a meal, set boundaries, budget smart. Stability comes first. The Five of Swords warned about hollow victories, winning at a cost. You don't want to be the person who fights just to be right and loses peace and allies, so choose your battles wisely. The Five of Swords says stop feeding your ego with petty disputes. Protect your relationships. Prioritize peace over pride. And the Five of Pentacles flashed a red flag about financial struggle and isolation. You can't ignore those issues any longer. The Five of Pentacles says reach out for help. Avoiding bank statements or pretending all is fine only worsens the situation. You're not alone. Seek support. Reassess your financial priorities. It's the first step to stepping out of the cold. Finally, the Ten of Cups wraps it all up with emotional fulfillment and harmony. The Ten of Cups invites you to nurture your relationships and celebrate love. Express gratitude. Don't take your people for granted, but also don't idealize. Real joy comes from honest connection, not ignoring the tough stuff. So here's your call to action, Libra. The work you've been avoiding is the work that sets you free. Speak your truth. Face your financial realities. Stop hiding your feelings. Manage your resources with care. Choose peace over ego. Align your choices with your heart. That is your path to lasting joy and stability. You've been carrying a lot. Now it's time to lay it down and build something real. Embrace it. The clarity you need is here. The harmony you crave is within reach. Don't run from the work. Lean in. Do the tough conversations. Budget that money. Set those boundaries. Nurture yourself and others with intention. It's all connected. You'll find peace when you do. I'm seeing your story shift right now. You're not stuck in the struggle anymore. You're stepping into a new chapter where practical solutions bring emotional fulfillment. Keep your eyes open for help and be brave enough to ask for it. Libra, this is your moment. Align your heart and mind. Take that first step. The rest will follow. You've got this. Okay, that's all I've got for now. If this hit, you already know what to do. Please like, subscribe, tell your group chat. I'll see y'all soon.